have the city council brigade, the school board brigade, the farmers brigade. You guys, if you join a brigade, you go to all of those meetings and then you come back and you report to us what's happening. That's how we found out about all the money that the school had that they couldn't account for. That's how we have found out what's gone on at the commissioner's office. That's how we found out stuff was happening at city council, was because we've had people present that are standing up for our freedom and speaking out. We need to continue to do that, and I'm gonna pass around this sheet, so if there's a brigade you feel like that you can be a part of and that you can commit to, look, I can't go to all of these meetings, but I can promise that I'll go to that meeting every month and let you know what I find. That's all that brigades are. While I'm passing that around, I wanna get some updates from our brigades leaders. First, we had somebody that was appointed to the fair board, Linda Crawford. Congratulations, she's a new fair board. Do we have an update on the fair board brigade? I don't see her here. Okay. Kathy, do you have an update on the recruiter brigade?
Well, no.
Okay.
Case in point, no.
Okay. Jean Donner, is she here? Yeah. Jean, do you have okay, she does the pro-life brigade.
Just a few updates. February 17th, our Senator Langford reintroduced a bill to exclude businesses such as Planned Parenthood and others that fund abortion from using federal funds for Medicaid. I wasn't able to find out where that's gone. Maybe in committee somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, he did introduce that, and I think that's great that he did that. So we hope that it goes through and passes. There's Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama is standing against the Department of Defense's new policy, which is to use taxpayer dollars to facilitate abortions. Anybody in the military that wants to have an abortion, they're paying for them to go to wherever to accomplish that. And Senator Tuberville is coming against that. And he's pledged to put a hold on all of the nominees to the Department of Defense until this is rescinded. And we might want to call our senators and tell them to go along with this and help him with that. I think the CVS Pharmacy and Walgreens has agreed not to sell the abortion pill over the counter in the states that have limited abortion, such as Oklahoma. But, they're selling it in the other states. So, I don't know, we might, tell Walgreens and CVS how we feel about that. There's several court cases related to abortion coming up. I think there's 4 right now. One that's getting a lot of publicity, I guess, is from Texas. There's a judge that's saying whether he's deciding whether to issue the preliminary injunction ordering the FDA to withdraw its approval of that drug or to wait for a full trial. Okay, I think that's about all I had.
With Hugh and Kathy, so we'll get an update from him on those brigades.
All right. Well, the most eventful meetings have been the county commission meetings, which most of us are aware of, but the excise board had one position that needed to be reappointed this morning after it was tabled from last week, and the decision was to reappoint the individual that's currently there, Nancy Cordray, if you know her. So she'll be on for another 4 years, right? There was a motion to nominate me, but we couldn't get a second from our Republican friend on the board, on the commissioners, so it died. And then they went forward with the reappointment of Nancy Cordray. In the city, not much is going on until tomorrow. So, as you all know, the elections are tomorrow, and we hope to celebrate victory there tomorrow with some new faces in place, but we'll find out tomorrow afternoon. There is a city commission meeting tomorrow at 5:30 as well. I was kind of hoping that they would postpone that one since it was election day, but Brian said it carries on, so we'll be there at 5:30, and then we'll meet afterwards. School board, nothing new as of late. I did have a conversation with Mr. Hare, the president of the school board, about some activities, whereas if you don't know, Paula Butcher resigned because she was on 2 elected positions, and she can't be on 2 elected positions, so she can only be on 1. So she resigned from the school board, and they brought in and appointed Dr. Terrell, which is fine. At the last meeting, Dr. Terrell was included in the board assembly. However, I noticed that every time something came up for a vote, he wasn't voting. But then they went to executive session, and he went with them to executive session. I thought that was kind of odd. So I raised the question, hey, what's going on? Has he been appointed? Has he been sworn in? Is he good to go? What are we waiting on? And if he's not voting, why is he going to executive session? So at first I was told, well, we can invite anybody we want to executive session. I later found out that's false, because I challenged the board president to check on the legalities of that, and you can't just invite anybody you want to unless the topic is about them or they are part of the proceedings. Usually a personnel issue is usually, or a contract that they're negotiating is usually what goes on. When Josh gets in office after tomorrow, I want to challenge him a little bit on the use of executive session, because the executive sessions are supposed to be used specifically for certain things, and it seems that the school board goes into executive session every meeting, right? To me, it just looks like they're trying to meet in private, and they don't want us to know what's going on. So that's why they vote to go to executive session, and they come back and they say, no action was taken. Okay, well, what did you talk about? If there's no personnel issues on the agenda, so what's it about? The second thing I challenged them again on the school board was, when the agenda comes out, even if it's posted online and it's posted at the school, and they send a copy, if you call them and you want a copy of it, they'll send it to you by email, is that the attachments that they're going to review are never included. So they voted on an attachment at the last meeting that, I don't even know if I remember what it was called, but there's no way any reasonable person would have any idea what it was about. So by not knowing what it's about before the meeting starts, in order to put a card in to say I want to talk about it, how are we ever going to know when we need to talk about something or object to whatever they're doing? So I raised that question with the board president again. He assures me that going forward, the agendas will include the attachments. Now, we have that same problem with the city on their agenda as well. They don't like to send out attachments either, but I'm hoping after tomorrow, Josh can help me fix that, because they are not listening. So that's all I got. I think that covers everything. Does anybody got any questions about anything you want to know about any of the boards? I mean, I think I go enough to probably tell you. Yes, ma'am.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you.
I was on the school board once.
Oh, were you?
We towed the line,
They're a tough bunch. They are definitely secretive. I know that at the commissioners meeting, Hugh, I hadn't brought it up yet, but there's been a lot of conversations about when you guys are talking up there and the room is full, that they can't hear you back here. So you do votes and stuff, and at least twice out of the last 3 meetings, a vote's been taken, and then somebody behind me will say, did they just vote on that? What did they say? I didn't hear them. So they don't have a microphone. They don't have one at all. The room's kind of small, so they shouldn't really need it, but they mumble, and then Tammy mumbles the most if you ever go. Talks under her breath, kind of, so she doesn't want anybody to know what's going on.
So maybe we can get microphones out.
Well, if anybody's gonna get it done, it's gonna be you, Mike. I do appreciate, yeah. I appreciate the transparency he demands at all of the meetings. That's the way it should be. Okay, and then we have the Election Integrity Brigade. Do you guys have an update?
I just, and you can jump in anytime. We are, for some of you who are new, the Election Integrity Brigade, we do watch what goes on with elections around here and try to keep our thumb on the heartbeat of what's going on. But we're also the election team where we get out there and push, our candidates. We've put yard signs out, we've went door to door, and this time, we hit almost every house in Bonita with information on our candidates. So I'm praying that makes a difference. But Kathy, did you have anything to add to that?
No, we're looking for more people for next time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to clarify something on that really quick. Okay, so when this Election Integrity Brigade went out and campaigned for certain people, I was not behind that. This party was not behind that. They chose to do that as individuals. I just want to throw that out. That was not they did get together through their Election Integrity Brigade, but that was not the Republican Party. Okay. Go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to say how much candidates appreciate what they did, because there's no way as an individual I could have covered as much territory as the group did.
I agree. Yeah, I really appreciate them. And I personally supported every candidate they went out, but personally and as the party are two different things, right? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna give Kathy 5 minutes. Once again, this is from Kathy Jenkins, not necessarily the whole Republican Party, but she needs 5 minutes. I call it Kathy's Corner. Okay, hold on for the ride for this.